Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Emma, your friendly curiosity guide.
And I'm Leo, here to sprinkle in some calm wisdom.
Today? Today is a good one, Leo. It's a topic I think we've all struggled with. The kind that sneaks into your brain when you're scrolling through Instagram or just looking around.
Ah, yes, the infamous, why am I not as good as them? Feeling.
Exactly. Today, we're diving into the real reason you keep comparing yourself to others. And trust me, it's not what you think.
That's right. We're going to break it down, unpack it, and bonus, we'll share a few surprising facts that might just make you see yourself in a whole new light.
Okay, I'm ready. But first, a quick story. Last week, I was scrolling on social media and I saw a friend's post. They had just launched a tiny online business and it looked perfect. I won't lie. I felt that pang. You know, that, ugh, why am I not doing that feeling?
Oh, I've been there. And that pang? It's actually normal.
Normal? Leo, it felt like my brain was judging me with a tiny, mean voice.
That's your brain doing what it's wired to do. And here's our first surprise fact. Humans are literally wired to compare themselves to others. It's called social comparison theory.
Wait. So my brain isn't evil? It's just doing its job?
Exactly. Our ancestors needed to compare themselves to survive. Who had the better hunting skills? Who could gather more food? Today, we don't hunt, but our brains still run those old scoreboards silently.
Ah, so my brain thinks Instagram is a modern-day hunting ground?
Pretty much. But here's the kicker. It's not the comparing that's the problem. It's how you interpret it.
Ooh, okay. So it's not the scroll. It's the story I tell myself about it.
Bingo. And that leads us to the real reason you keep comparing yourself. It's not envy, it's identity.
Identity? I'm intrigued.
Think about it. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, it's really your brain asking, am I good enough? Who am I? What's my place? It's a question about you, not about them.
Oh, that hits deep. So when I feel bad about someone else's success, it's really me questioning myself.
Yes. And here's another surprising fact. Studies show that people who compare themselves often aren't trying to judge others. They're trying to measure their own growth.
Wait. So all those late-night Instagram scrolls are secretly my brain's way of self-assessment?
In a way, yes. But here's the tricky part. Social media, photos, and highlight reels make it feel like you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlights.
So that perfectly plated meal I just saw isn't really perfect. It's just filtered reality?
Exactly. And that's why comparison often leads to anxiety, not motivation.
Oh, wow. So what do we do about it? I mean, I can't just stop scrolling, Leo.
True, and you shouldn't have to. The key is reframing. Instead of, I'm not enough, you ask, what can I learn from this?
Ooh, I like that. Learning mode instead of judgment mode.
Yes. Let me give you an example. I once had a friend who felt terrible because a coworker got a promotion. Instead of sulking, she asked, what did they do to grow in this role? What can I adapt for myself? And guess what? A few months later, she applied for a new position and got it.
Whoa, that's powerful. So comparison becomes a tool instead of a trap.
Exactly. It's about curiosity, not criticism.
I love that. Okay, so if identity is the core reason and social media is the trigger, is there a deeper layer?
Yes, there's also our culture. We live in a success highlights society. Everyone's achievements are public, and that magnifies comparison.
Ah, no wonder I felt inadequate last week. Society was literally cheering in my brain. Compare, compare.
Precisely. And here's another emotional truth. Comparison is often tied to fear. Fear of missing out, fear of being left behind, fear of not being enough.
Huh, fear of missing out. Leo, that explains a lot about my Sunday scrolling.
You're not alone. But here's the beauty. Recognizing the fear is step one. Step two is shifting focus inward.
So, inward focus. Can you give a practical example?
Sure, instead of comparing your art, writing, or career to others, focus on your personal benchmarks. Ask, am I improving? Am I learning? Am I growing?
Oh, that reminds me of my nephew learning to ride a bike. He wasn't thinking about other kids. He was celebrating each wobble and each fall. And then, boom, he was riding.
Perfect analogy. Growth is personal and it's messy, but meaningful.
All right, Leo. You've explained identity, fear, culture, and social media. But what about the emotional side? Why does it hurt so much?
Great question. It hurts because comparison triggers the limbic system, your brain's emotional center. When you see someone else's success, it can create anxiety, envy, or self-doubt. But it's also an opportunity for self-reflection.
So my brain is literally lighting up like, alert, alert, self-worth check.
Exactly. And that's why mindfulness helps. By noticing the feeling without judgment, you weaken its power over you.
Mindfulness? I hear that a lot, but it seems so simple. Just notice the feeling.
That's all. Simple, but not always easy. Start with one deep breath when you feel comparison creeping in. Then ask, is this thought serving me?
Oh, I like that. Pause. Breath. Question. Empowered.
Yes. And here's another curiosity hook for our listeners. We're going to share 3 practical strategies to stop toxic comparison, coming up in just a minute.
Ooh, I'm ready. Hit me with those strategies, Leo.
Strategy 1. Shift the metric. Instead of comparing yourself to others, measure against your past self.
Love it. Yesterday me versus today me. Tiny wins.
Strategy 2. Limit social media triggers. Be intentional about who and what you follow. Curate your feed for inspiration, not insecurity.
Okay, I'm mentally unfollowing 5 people as we speak.
Strategy 3. Celebrate others genuinely. It might sound counterintuitive, but celebrating someone else's win rewires your brain. You build gratitude instead of envy.
Oh, I've never thought of it that way. Gratitude over envy. That feels peaceful.
It is. And here's a story to drive it home. A friend of mine started a gratitude journal for achievements of her friends, even small ones. Over a month, she noticed less comparison and more joy in her own life.
That's so simple but powerful. I feel like I can try it tomorrow.
And that's the point. Change doesn't need to be huge. Small, consistent steps beat giant leaps every time.
All right, everyone. Before we finish, we're going to do a vocabulary section. These are words and phrases from today's conversation that can help you sound like a native speaker.
Let's start with the first one. Pang.
Oh, yes, I felt a pang when I saw my friend's post. It means a sudden, sharp feeling, usually emotional.
Right? Like a pang of jealousy or a pang of nostalgia.
Next, highlight reel. That's what we called people's best moments on social media.
Exactly. Your life isn't just the highlight reel, it's also the behind the scenes, the messy parts.
Another one, limbic system. It's part of your brain that controls emotions.
And a really useful phrase, shift the metric. That means changing what you measure success by. Focus on your own progress, not someone else's.
Finally, gratitude over envy. Simple, but powerful. Instead of feeling jealous, feel grateful.
Now let's practice together. Repeat after me and try to make your own sentences.
First word, pang.
I felt a pang of sadness when my favorite show ended.
I felt a pang of excitement before my exam. Your turn, listeners.
Next, highlight reel.
Her Instagram is just a highlight reel of her vacations.
I realized my life isn't a highlight reel. It's okay to have ordinary days.
Great. Now, shift the metric.
Instead of comparing grades, I shifted the metric to see how much I improved.
I shifted the metric and focused on my art skills instead of my friend's success.
Last one, gratitude over envy.
I practiced gratitude over envy and felt happier for my friend's promotion.
Every morning, I choose gratitude over envy to start my day positively.
See, listeners? You're learning vocabulary and practicing real sentences.
Exactly. It's fun, easy, and very practical.
That's it for today's extended episode.
Remember, comparison is natural, but growth, gratitude, and reflection are your tools.
And don't forget to practice your new vocabulary. Share your sentences in the comments. We'd love to see them.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep being uniquely you.
See you next time, everyone.